back here on the Bossman Show in front of the show. Coach Bill Coen, Northeastern Huskies out of the CAA, 6 in a row in conference play. Coach, how are things going with you guys up there in New England up there?
We're doing just fine, JR. Really, really happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Coach, let me ask you, man, this has been a weird year, man, in every way we can think of. So how has it been getting your guys prepared for this year with being away from you guys and up your way? The rules are tighter than it is down here in Georgia. So how to get guys prepared, keeping them healthy, the protocols. Talk about how that whole process from this spring to now, Coach, to get where you are today.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This year is like none other. I mean, COVID's really impacted just about every aspect of life, and certainly college basketball. And then you mix in all the the social injustice tensions going around. There's just so much emotion and so much political emotion, so much fear for medical safety, and it's impacted basketball. But that's one area where our kids could kind of get a break. And thankfully, our university has really invested a lot of money in establishing a testing protocol here on campus, put in stringent guidelines that have tried to keep everybody healthy. And it's given this team an opportunity to step away from all the stress and pressure that 2020 has kind of put upon us, and get them back to at least some sort of normalcy, whether it be practice or a game. And for those, brief 2 hours, you can kind of forget about everything else and just worry about the game that we love and get in there. But, we live in kind of these two universes. You get out of practice and then you see how many people are suffering or gotten ill. And it's just two different worlds. But we've just tried to adopt an attitude of gratitude and be thankful for each and every day and each and every opportunity we get to play.
Coach, you have a unique team. A lot of guys on your team from international backgrounds. So how are those conversations when social justice is going on really tough in summertime, really in the news and mainstream media? How was it for you guys who are international, who may not have been privy to those things that happen in the USA when in their home countries and when in their home cultures?
Yeah, well, ironically, this is not just a U.S. problem. We have a young man from England, and he's experienced it over there. We've had guys from Nigeria, guys from Germany, all around the world, and we had some really interesting and in-depth and emotional conversations regarding in and around that issue, and if there was one thing that bright side to take out of it is I think the next generation is going to get it right. From my conversations with our guys, there's just so much more understanding, so much more compassion, so much more tolerance for diversity. And, the inspiring thing, that's one thing that's great about coaching. You get to be around young people. And they're an amazing age group. They see the world the way they see it. And, to me, it just gave me hope that in the future, when this generation elevates, that, times really can change.
And Coach, it's funny for me. I'm 33 years old. I never met my first white kids. I was 7 years old in 1994. And I live in Atlanta, travel baseball. It's baseball and sports for me to experience another culture, because I never met a white kid until I was 7 years old playing travel baseball, which is, I know it's bad to say, but it's honest reality. I lived it. And, that sports can bring us together, because I'm like, there's a kid to me. I didn't realize at 7 years old, that's a white kid. So I was told, I was 7 playing travel baseball. I had no idea, Coach, about race at 7 years old like that. So I'm just making that point that say that, hey, the sports can unify us all and get us to experience different backgrounds. And now it's nothing to me. I don't care who you are, what your background is, because I've experienced it in college as well. I experienced different cultures. So for me, like you're right, being 33, being a millennial, and the guys below of me, I think they're going to really help us push us to that, as you said, that next level and get it right, as you said, Coach.
Yeah, no question. And that's the beauty of sports, right? You get in there and it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or white or black, or it doesn't matter. That the competition is what it is, and that's an arena. At least you always want to hold on to it. That's where it's fair. That's what I think, we aspire as society to be. And that's why sports can be a leader in this area, and really teach everybody how to get along and to progress.
Coach, I didn't care about a race. I just want to win the game and keep going to tournaments and traveling. I didn't care. I'm a 7-year-old kid, man. I just wanted to win.
That's it. No, I hear you.
And Coach, it's speaking that even further, like for this radio show, it's a global show now. Like for me, I'm touching people in Europe, Africa, Asia, all over in Australia because of what the technology has global now. I'm right here in my base, you're in your office, but it's going to be for the whole world to hear. And it's going to be a message that resonates all over the globe because you said sports is a unifying thing. Like for my radio show locally, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, to Macon, Georgia. All these people in between that hear this show live every Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So it's like for me, like knowing that I'm in a position now, Coach, to affect change and help people grow, it's like a burden I'm glad to take a leadership role in doing because I know the platform God's given me is here to help others and grow our nation, help us be better all over the world through a platform like mine that I've been blessed with.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And I always like to say I coach basketball, but basketball, the basketball court is our classroom, and we really just teach life.
Oh yeah.
Through basketball. And everything you're teaching that you heard from kindergarten on up, to be unselfish, to be compassionate, to be passionate about something, to try your best, and it's how you play the game, and all those things. Those are lessons that are all taught through sport, and it's a great way to kind of revisit that and get back to what's really important.
And Coach, how do you use a similar time to teach young men about adversity in the sense of, it's all international, being away from home, trying to keep them safe? And how did you keep your team together via those Zoom calls? Because they're young kids. I'm 33 and I have interns who ask me questions all the time, Coach, about what's going on. I don't understand this stuff. And I know if they're the same age range my interns are, and you got to answer the questions like on 1,000, you have 13, 14 guys to answer. If I have 4 kids, So how was it for you guys to keep your guys together when you all were away for so long?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about communication, right? So whether it's digital communication or real life communication, but being open and honest and being, listening is a skill.
Oh yes,
and you have to be able to listen. And I think too many people, while they're listening, their mind is already forming how they're going to answer instead of actively listening to what's really being said and validating that other person. So we did a lot of that, having everybody kind of speak on it and what their life experience has been and how they see things, and you just try to get a better understanding of everything. But for us, it was about trying to keep our group together. It's a team sport, so we need everybody in the boat and we need everybody pulling in the right direction. We lost summer access, which is a lot of time where you kind of do some team building stuff, but we had to do the best we could over Zoom, and they were frequent and they were long, but it's how guys got to know each other. And I'm really, really blessed. I got a really great locker room with some good leadership, with guys who are want to be good, want to be coached, and want to be elite teammates. So when you have that type of group, the basketball is secondary. That comes natural to them.
Coach, how was the ramp up? Because guys have been inactive for a while. You don't want to get them hurt. So how did you guys kind of structure the ramp up from getting them shooting drills and individual drills and not putting too much in too soon, so don't overload them and get them hurt where they can't be good for you now? Because you want to peak in March, not in November. So how was that process?
Yeah, but we were mindful of it. We took the phased in approach where the first 2-3 weeks we were in phase 1, and it was kind of individual out of basket and get guys moving, because like you said, they didn't have the benefit of the summer strength and conditioning program. Everybody when they hit the court, the energy is high.
Oh yeah,
we've been away for so long. Everybody just wanted to play and go, and you just really had to kind of hold the reins a little bit and hold them back. And then phase 2, we got a little bit more active, and we didn't have contact, but we could get a few more guys out of basket and simulate the game a little bit. and that lasted another 2-3 weeks, and then the last phase was full contact. But it was different. But it forced you to innovate how you did practice and think out of the box and try to get creative. So so the practices were meaningful and energetic and purposeful and all those things. So we had to rethink the game, which I think was a good thing. It stretched our basketball mind, it stretched our creativity, and I think the kids responded well to it.
Because I noticed as I watch more games, things are getting more complex. I'm seeing more stuff on film, more guys with new twists off of these plays. So for you guys viewing these playing, if you notice that teams are doing more things than they were in November, December, for us being complex with their schemes and different little adjustments off certain plays and looks they usually give you. So I've noticed it myself kind of watching it. There's getting more and more complex now. There's more games being played, and guys getting that rhythm now of being in it every two games a week here.
Yeah, and I think it's that guys are getting more consistent practice time, but you're also like getting into conference play. So, many of the coaches are going to kind of save some of their better stuff to when they get into conference play, and start with the basics in the non-conference, and then when you get a little bit more practice, you're going to get more intricate and more involved in terms of your sets and defensive schemes and so on. So. I would like to say there's 3 parts of the season: the non-conference, where you kind of test yourself against different styles of play. And we played a really tough non-conference schedule. I think it was like 17th in the country by ESPN. Went out. We were down in your way, played at Georgia. But then you get into conference play, and, everybody kind of knows your trick plays and tendencies. And then you get into postseason, whether it's your postseason tournament or the NCAAs or NIT, you're in a one and done mindset, and all 3 of those are different. We're in the middle of our conference play right now, and it's fighting against coaches that have prepared against you for years and years, players that have competed against one another. They know each other, they know all their trick moves and everything. So there's nothing easy in conference play.
Coach, let me ask you about the non-conference schedule. How was it trying to schedule games when, like you said, the rules here in Georgia, out there in Massachusetts, the rules are very different for its fans, access. So how was it trying to schedule games with the quarantines and up Northeast versus coming down here where it's wide open?
Yeah, it was really hard. We lost a couple of games, and in our region, like we're right downtown Boston, but in New England, New York, New England, there's 2 other leagues. The Ivy League had shut down. And the Patriot League was not playing non-conference games. So a lot of those opponents couple of those were on our schedule. We typically play Harvard every year, and BU's, Boston University is across the way. Holy Cross is in our state. All those games kind of vanished off our schedule. And then, you get the pushback of the state. So scheduling was real time. You were literally talking on Sunday about potentially playing and then playing again a game on Tuesday or Wednesday of that week, which is very different from what it was in the past. But, we were able to put together a really competitive non-conference schedule. And like you said, up in the Northeast, there's no fans. It's very, very strict in terms of all that. And then even in our conference, like we just got back from Charleston, and they had fans in the stands. And it just feels different.
Oh, yeah. Now, Coach, speaking of the back-to-backs, how's that been? Because, guys in the NBA, you see guys on second night of back-to-back, they're gassed, So how's it been for you trying to manage your guys on night 1, going to night 2, and trying to make sure you get that win on night 2, knowing that you played hard on night 1 there, on that Friday night there?
Well, I mean, you're going to want to win every game. So I don't know, in the NBA, they're they have load management and everything else.
Schedule losses, as they always say. The schedule loss.
Yeah. But I mean, for us, I think we have to manage our week leading up to that. How much we can take out of the kids' legs, over the course of the week, and be mindful of that. And then, we've talked to our guys about the 3 areas of preparation going into the game, and that's the physical, which is you got to get your body right and rehabbed and iced and hydrated and sleep and everything else that goes into getting your body right. And then, the mental You might want to make a couple adjustments, but you can't overcoach that situation between Saturday and Sunday night. And then the last one is emotional, and you see it in the NBA all the time when they get to playoff system. There's playoff time. You may win on game one, and game two is a totally different game.
Oh yeah.
And whether you won the first game, you're going to have either emotional advantage or disadvantage. And if you lose the game, you're going to have to deal with that emotion one way or another. So I'm managing that emotion. Like if you beat a team on the first night, they're going to come back hard the next day. And it's really going to be a dogfight. So you got to anticipate that. But I think you're seeing around college basketball a lot of splits. A team can win big on respect, particularly early in the year. You had teams win by 40 points one night and lose the next day. So it's been a challenge. But I think those are the three areas as a coach you have to be mindful of.
You got a new coach you got to play this weekend. Mark Byington, my buddy from Georgia Southern, went to James Madison. How you seeing what his team is doing this year? Looking forward to coaching against him all these years going forward now.
Yeah, he's doing a tremendous job. I mean, they had the preseason player of the year and leading returning scorer in the league, and Matt Lewis. And he, if you haven't seen him, he's a terrific college player. I mean, he's a 3-level scorer and just a really good ball handler, kind of a combo guard that playing him a little bit on the ball, off the ball. But Mark's doing a tremendous job. They're really well coached. Defending at a high level, and they have interchangeable parts. They the floor, play with great pace. So we actually have them this weekend, so it's going to be a challenge.
Oh yeah, I said, oh, you gotta play my buddy Mark. Yeah, I saw him and said, man, I know he's always tough to deal with for sure. Now, Coach Coen, last one I got for you is a little light question. What was your quarantine hobby? I was playing the guitar. Learn how to do some things on the guitar. What was yours?
You know what? It was an incredible time for the coaching community because we were all sitting at home. So there were so many clinics, international clinics. And it was almost like a sabbatical, a coaching sabbatical. And it was really a great growth period for me. But I attended so many webinars and coaching clinics and different ways of thinking. You listen to guys who are coaching over in Eastern Europe or Europe or different college coaches that typically you're just hyper focused on your own group.
Oh yeah.
And it gets into a group think. You've done ways for so long that you kind of got a little bit of tunnel vision. But I thought this spring and summer it was a great opportunity to just grow and learn as a coach in a lot of different ways. And certainly the personal relationship side with all the social injustice. Make sure you're connected with all your players. Technique wise, how do you coach? Just so many different areas you were able to kind of get exposed to some of the most brilliant minds in the game. And I was grateful for that.
Oh, yeah, Coach, same here, man. I got invited to those clinics. Some my friends invited me on to listen to it. I'm like, I was amazed because, I love the coaching mindset. I got to hear those things. I'm like, okay. Well, I wish I knew that when I played ball. It'll help me out a little bit. Now, Coach, thank you for your time. As always, Coach Coen, one of our favorites to talk to every year, man. Thank you, as always, and be blessed, be safe, and hope to see you soon, man. I have an uncle who lives in Boston, in West Peabody, actually. So when I come up there, when it all clears up, I'll try to give you a holler, see if you guys in the office come by and see you, man.
That'd be great. No, always thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Coach. Be good now. See you, buddy.
All right. Bye.